Hey everyone, it's Jenny and welcome back to my channel, The Story Ain't Over. So today I'm coming to you with a very exciting video. As you can tell behind me, I have a new bookshelf. I recently decided to move the skinny shelf that I had here at the end of my shelves to like the other side of my room, and so I had extra room over here and I knew I could fit like a bigger Billy bookshelf from IKEA. These are all from IKEA. So I thought I would just grab one, and that's what I did, and now I have a new bookshelf. I spent some time the other day hooking it up with the lights, but I wanted to save actually putting on the books and like organizing it for a video where I could also answer some questions that you guys had sent in through Instagram. But before we get into the questions and organizing my bookshelf, I want to talk about the sponsor of today's video, which is Ana Luisa. I'm so excited to be partnering with Ana Luisa today because they're such a beautiful jewelry brand and they're super focused on sustainability and really quality pieces. They are carbon neutral, so they offset 100% of their carbon emissions from sourcing their raw materials to the disposal of their pieces. They have fair prices with jewelry starting at $39 and no luxury markup, and all of their pieces are long-lasting with exceptional quality, and they all come with a 365-day warranty. And they also do limited batches, ensuring that they have the highest production standard and also eliminating excessive waste. So Ana Luisa was so kind enough to send me two of their pieces here. So I am currently wearing the Kelly necklace, which is this beautiful mother of pearl heart necklace, and then I'm also wearing the forget-me-not necklace as well, which is just this beautiful gold pendant with a hand holding flowers, which I think is just a beautiful pendant. I chose the Kelly necklace because I think it's just a beautiful heart-shaped pendant, and I've always wanted a heart pendant, but all the ones that I've seen on other places I haven't really liked. And so when I saw this, I just thought it fit perfectly for what I wanted, and it just feels so dainty and beautiful. And then the reason I chose the forget-me-not necklace is because I really just love the illustration on the pendant. It is both like summer and spring feeling, but also a little bit mysterious with the name and just the way that the pendant feels a little bit like vintagey and old. I absolutely love these pieces because they're so simple and, you know, eye-catching as well, and they fit with sort of any outfit. And I'm wearing a pretty casual outfit today, but these look so beautiful regardless of what I'm wearing. And because of their dainty and beautiful nature, they style and stack very nicely. And Ana Luisa has everything from necklaces to earrings to rings to bracelets, so you can find anything that you're looking for. As I said, their styles start from $39 and up, and there's something for everyone. And they also have worldwide shipping, which is really great. I live in Canada. They are based in the US, I think. So yeah, my pieces came really quickly. And Ana Luisa was also kind enough to give me a discount code for you guys to use. So if you use my code THISSTORY10, you will get 10% off of your Ana Luisa order, and you can go get these beautiful pieces to wear. So go check out the link in my description. I've linked it all there with my discount code. So if you use that link, you can get the discount and also shop around on Ana Luisa's site. Yeah, I cannot recommend Ana Luisa enough. I've been eyeing their stuff for so long, and I'm so glad I was able to collab with them today. And in case you missed it, Hannah from A Clockwork Reader also did a collab with Ana Luisa for this really beautiful necklace that's just so vintagey and just something that you'll want to keep for forever. And definitely go check it out. It's called the Hannah necklace, and Ana Luisa and Hannah were kind enough to gift me one of the necklaces, so I'm just so happy to have it in my collection and to just wear for, you know, years to come. And I believe the necklace will be restocked soon, so just watch out for that, and you can definitely use my discount code to get the necklace and anything else you're eyeing at Ana Luisa. But yes, super excited about this collab. Go check out the link in my description. As I said, 10% off. But now let's get into organizing my bookshelves and into the questions that you guys asked. So I have a bunch of books on my floor down here that you cannot see. There are like stacks and stacks of them. Some of them I just already had on my floor. They're just like new books that I've accumulated over the past few weeks, and I haven't had the chance to put them on a bookshelf because I just didn't have space. So I'm going to be putting those on this bookshelf and sort of organizing, and then I'll also try to answer some questions. You guys sent in a lot, so I don't know how many I'll get to, but I'll try my best. Okay, I'm going to answer a few before I actually start picking up books because I can't read questions off my phone while picking up books. So the first one is, what is your zodiac sign? I'm a Libra, both sun and moon, and I think I'm a Pisces rising, I want to say, but I'm not really sure. Someone asked, what's your top 5 favorite series? The Shadow and Bone series, / Six of Crows, Ember in the Ashes, Strange Dreamer, Gilded Wolves, and I want to say Warcross or the Legend series. That's like really hard to name just 5. Someone asked, when is your birthday? My birthday is October 2nd. Okay, let's move some books while I answer the next question, which is, do you find it overwhelming when publishers send you a lot of books? So I definitely do, because I find that I end up with a lot of books as you can tell, in my house. There's a bunch of times when like there are arcs that I get that I don't really want to read, or there are finished copies that they send me without telling me, like unsolicited, and that I don't really want to pick up. And so I just like am left with all of these books that I don't really care about, and so I have to end up getting rid of them. So I usually like donate them. There's a bunch sitting in my basement right now that I haven't had the chance to donate yet, so it's like slightly frustrating. At least when I buy a book, like I know I'm spending money, so I try to make sure that like it's a book I'll probably enjoy, so it's like less likely that I'm gonna want to get rid of it later. It's just like I would be totally fine collecting a lot of books, but it's just hard to keep in a limited amount of space. So yeah. Okay, so these are going here. These are actually books I'm like kind of in the middle of reading. I'm kind of in the middle of reading Six of Crows. I haven't really decided if I want to commit to the reread, so that's where we're at. I think all of these were up here on my other shelf, or maybe not. Okay, I have had Marie Lu's Young Elite series on my shelves for ages, and I've only read the first one, and I really need to get to reading the other ones. Let me know what you guys think of them. I know a lot of people love them, but like I had mixed-ish feelings about the first one. Like I really enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. So that's how I'm feeling right now. I realized this might have been easier if I had someone like calling out the questions to me, but whatever. Okay, the next question is, what is the first book you remember falling in love with? So for me, it's probably definitely Dragon Rider by Cornelia Funke. I don't know why I really like this book. I don't remember a single thing that happens in it, but I just love the fact that it had dragons in it. And I think I was like 8 or 9 when I read this, and I absolutely loved it. So yeah, this is kind of like the origin story of me getting into reading. I really hated reading when I was like a really small kid. I got like a D- in reading in like grade 1 or something, which isn't that much of an accomplishment, but you know. Yeah, this is like the first book that like I really got excited about, mostly because of the magical stuff. And as you can tell, I really like a lot of fantasy books. Someone asked for my favorite tropes. I love like enemies to lovers in certain situations. I also love friends to lovers. I always love the trope where like the mean girl evolves into like a really awesome badass character, in the sense that she goes through really interesting character growths and character arcs. I also love redemption arcs in very certain situations, like kind of a Prince Zuko situation. I also really hate it when redemption arcs results in someone dying at the end of their, you know, amazing redemption arc. And I also love the arc of like a sort of villain anti-hero joining up with the heroes for like the final showdown. Like I love that kind of anti-hero character and the dynamic that they end up having with the heroes. Someone asked who's my favorite crow. It is definitely Inej. Inej, my girl. She is like one of the first characters I saw myself in, and she's just such a good soul. She's such a sweet character who cares so much, and she's also just like a badass with knives, so what is there not to love? Someone asked where my bookshelves are from. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, these are Billy bookshelves from IKEA. Someone asked for my favorite genre, and I will answer this as I pick up some more books. So my favorite genre is definitely fantasy. I have always loved fantasy. As I said, like, you know, that book with the dragon in it was the one that like really got me into reading, and I love anything with like fantastical elements, but I also really love like contemporary. I think in the past like 2 or 3 years I've really come to like contemporary books and just like regular like literary fiction-ish books, but I think fantasy still has my heart, and it always just like makes me happy and like puts a smile on my face, and I just get so invested. Like I'm very nerdy as well, so like I get super invested in like sci-fi fantasy books and like the characters and just the saving the world aspect to them. But yeah, as I said, like I still really enjoy some like contemporary books. Recently I've been finding I really like a lot of adult contemporary fiction where they're sort of coming of age stories for like more adult characters. So like Days of Distraction and Honey Girl I really enjoyed. But yeah, fantasy books sort of have my heart, and my all-time favorite books are all fantasy. Someone asked how many books do I have in total? I honestly don't know. I think it's like over 500 or 600, I think. Like it's almost close to 1,000, I want to say, because I have like a skinny shelf over there, and then I have like my 3 shelves over here, plus this new one, and then all these books on my floor, but I also have a bunch of books in my basement as well, which I'm probably gonna get rid of. Like I'm gonna donate them. But again, like I've been collecting books since I was like in high school. Like books were the one thing that I always wanted to buy. I wasn't really into clothes or makeup when I was younger, and the number one thing I spent my money on was books. So yeah. So next for my favorite Shadowhunter Chronicles character, and I think it would probably be Will. Will is my like ultimate favorite, Will Herondale. And then I also really love Cordelia from The Last Hours. And I also really weirdly like Julian. Like, he is so chaotic, but I love him. Someone asked for any tips for consistent journaling. So this one is a really good question. So I started bullet journaling in, I think 2017 is when I first started doing it, and I really like it because it keeps you organized. But I think you can get really wrapped up in trying to make your spreads like really cohesive and really pretty and like aesthetic, but I think you just need to like let go of that. I tend to try to make my like setup spreads for the month very aesthetic, but then for the weeklies, like I don't care as much. And so I'll just set them up at the beginning of the week, or I'll set them all up at the beginning of the month so that I don't have to worry about them later. And then I can just like write in little tasks that I have during the week. So I think it's just like trying to do all of the like pretty stuff all at once, or when you have like a big chunk of time, so that when you're busy, you can just like write in your tasks during the week, if that makes sense. But yeah, I find bullet journaling like really calming also. So when I have those big chunks of time that I can like just sit down and journal, they just make me really happy and like just calm my mind. Okay, so I honestly don't know where I'm going with this organization. Oh, you can even see the books I was putting up there because it's out of frame. Wow. Okay, well, here they are. There's a bunch of just like YA fantasies up there that I had on my other shelf, my skinny shelf before, but I've moved them up here. They all are like the same size, which just brings me joy. Like, I like it when books are the same size and like next to each other. So I try to like group my books by size and then like genre. So that's that top shelf. Let's get into the next one. I'm mostly just trying to like move the books on my floor onto shelves right now, but I think I'm going to take some books from the other shelves as well and move them onto this one because they're getting really, really cramped right now. Someone asked for my fave standalone at the moment. I would definitely say Yoke by Mary H.K. Choi. I was absolutely blown away by this book. Like, it's just so amazing. Someone asked if you could describe yourself with 4 words. Which words would you choose? I'm gonna go with excited, chaotic, stressed, and tired. I think those are like the main things that I feel and am right now in this particular moment in my life. Yeah. So someone asked advice on how to get publishers to notice your channel, page, blog. It's a really good question. So if you're trying to get into like the book influencer space, one thing I would say is like if you're doing Instagram, so Bookstagram, you know, making sure you're posting a bunch of book pictures obviously, and then tagging the publishers in the posts is a really good way to do it. For BookTube, it's kind of the same. Like, publishers are not really usually roaming BookTube, so you really need to have like a second platform like Bookstagram or BookTwitter where you are able to like tag publishers so they can actually see your stuff. And then another thing is just like trying to get on their review lists, which you can sort of do for certain publishers. They have like emails or like contact pages that you can go to and email those people and like request for arcs or like get on a mailing list. But I think a lot of it just comes with like time and like consistency. And like if you are just building a community within like the book community, then a publisher will eventually notice you. Someone asked for my favorite book to screen adaptation. I really, really love Catching Fire. I also really love the Shadow and Bone series. I also really love the To All the Boys I Loved Before movies. They're really cute. I don't really love the second one, but the first and third one were really great. Someone asked for my biggest accomplishment during quarantine, which is a great question. I don't think you have to have accomplished anything in quarantine, but I'm proud of myself for like coming up with consistent videos during quarantine because Ontario in Canada, where I live, has been basically in lockdown since like the end of 2020. So the first like few months of this year have mostly been in lockdown. So I am pretty proud of myself for making consistent videos during this time, trying not to go crazy while I'm, you know, inside all the time. So on the weekends, like I film, and I'm just glad that, you know, you guys have all stuck around for this and enjoy the videos that I'm putting out. Someone asked, what advice would you give to someone who's trying to balance social media and school? This is a really good question. It's been a while since I've been in school. I graduated a couple years ago, so I've been like mostly working, but I think this sort of applies also if you're like working or doing school. I think it's just important to like use your time wisely and like whenever you have pockets of time to try to use them to, you know, write captions or like create content. So I work like 9 to 5 during the week, but on weekends I try to film on Saturday mornings and like edit videos on Sundays. So just like making sure you have like set time to do those things. And then for social media, like trying not to get too bogged down by it and, you know, taking breaks for your own mental health. And I always suggest planning your content ahead of time so that you're not like scrambling during the week to figure out what you're gonna post. But obviously I'm no social media expert, so like take this with a grain of salt. Okay, so I'm moving like all these books on my floor onto the shelves, but I'm realizing that like there's a bunch of books that I've like set out on my bed that I'm gonna film with later today, so I don't have enough to like put on this shelves, but I'm definitely gonna be taking some books from these other shelves and putting them on this shelf. But I also think I'm gonna go book shopping sometime soon because I want to get more books to fill up the shelf, so we'll see. So I think I'm gonna turn this shelf, potentially like the bottom half, into an adult bookshelf because I find that I'm buying a lot more like adult books, and so I want to have a space to put them, and I feel like my shelf in the corner over here has a lot of contemporary books, and then below it I have my adult books, but I think there's just not enough space for both of them. Like I have so many contemporary books, so I need more space for those, and then I need more space for adult, so I'm gonna move them over here, if that makes any sense. Okay, let's answer some more questions. Someone asked for my favorite book quote. It is definitely from Perks of Being a Wallflower, which is, "And in that moment, I swear we were infinite." I absolutely love that line. Have always loved it. And I like would tattoo it on my soul if I could. Someone asked, have you ever thought of writing a book and or poems? Yes, I'm currently working on a book-shaped thing. More to come, but it's like very much a work in progress. I've been working on it for a while. This is like the 10 bajillionth draft of it. But yeah, I tend to do that a lot. Like I start a lot of projects and get to a certain place and then want to rewrite them. So it's always like a journey, but yeah, I'm trying to finish something this year and hopefully it'll happen. But yeah, I also really love writing poetry. I've like shared some of it on my Instagram before, and eventually one day I want to do more, but I find it just like depends on the point in my life I'm in. Sometimes I want to write a lot of poetry and sometimes I don't. So currently I'm not like in that mood for it, but I definitely want to also find a way to like share more of it, and maybe that'll be like on my blog or something. If you guys would like to see some more writing or writing videos, let me know and maybe I'll make them. Someone asked, I know this has nothing to do with books, but did you enjoy the last Shiny album? Of course I did. Their new album, Don't Call Me. Absolutely loved it, and also like the repackaged Atlantis. I loved it so much. There's so many songs on there that I love. I absolutely love Kind. I think that's like my favorite song on that album. And I also bought the albums recently, which I'll show you. So I couldn't control myself and I bought both editions of the Atlantis album. So I have them both here. I haven't unboxed / unwrapped them yet because I don't know if I want to film a video of them or not. So let me know if you guys would enjoy a K-pop album unboxing or, you know, flip through thing. I bought some other albums as well, like some of Taemin's old albums, and I used the new album Lilac because I absolutely love that as well, but I just love these guys so much, so I knew I had to buy the albums. Someone asked, how did you decide on how much of your life to share on booktube? Do you feel any pressures? I don't necessarily feel any pressures. Like I'm a pretty private person to begin with, so I only really share anything that relates to my channel, so like reading and, you know, book life related stuff. But as you guys know, like I don't really share that much about my personal life because it's just personal. And of course you can like feel that pressure if like a lot of other people are sharing a lot of their lives. But yeah, I've always been sort of personal about my life, so I don't really feel the need to share more than I already do. If there comes a time when I feel like really comfortable about something, then I will share it. But otherwise, like I try to keep my personal stuff personal. So this shelf is definitely really in progress. Like I think I want to change it up a lot because at the moment I'm not loving which books I've placed where. But anyways, more questions. Someone asked, did you read a lot in high school? Yes, I did. I was obsessed with reading in high school, and like from I think like the age of like 9 onwards, I was super obsessed with reading. So that's like mainly what I did in my free time, aside from like watching TV shows and doing nerdy things. I really, really loved books, and I've been collecting books for like most of my life. And I remember I used to like spend a lot of time reading books instead of like studying for my exams in high school. So that's the person I was. I was also that person who read books under my desk during math class as well. So someone asked for my favorite or least favorite thing I read for my degree, and this is a really interesting question, and I'm gonna grab the books. So I have 2 favorite books that I read for my degree. I did a double major in English and history, and so those 2 books are Scorched by Wajdi Muawad. This is a play that is just so layered and interesting and is sort of a retelling of the Oedipus cycle, so Oedipus Rex and Antigone, which are like these ancient Greek plays. So this is sort of like a retelling of those, but like set in modern day, and I just love the way that this was written and just like the conflict it portrays, and it's just so, so interesting. So highly recommend. And then I also really loved A Raisin in the Sun by Lorraine Hansberry. This is also a play, and it follows a Black family in Chicago in 1959. And it's just like a really, really interesting like play, and I just love the way it was written and just like the subtext of all of the conversations. Same with this one. So yeah, it's really interesting because I don't really read plays, but these were two that I picked up for my courses in university, and I just really love them. Okay, I'm gonna zoom through some organizing right now and then answer some more questions. Okay, so I moved a bunch of my adult books from my other shelves onto this one, and I'm feeling a lot better about it now. I think, you know, putting the adult books here really works, and now I have like a dedicated shelf for like more of my romancy, contemporary adult books, which I've been getting a lot more of, and I think I'm probably gonna need another shelf for the adult fantasy, so I think I might move the contemporary ones down a shelf after I get more adult fantasy books. But for now, I'm just going to keep it like this, and I will probably fill the bottom shelves a little bit later as I accumulate more books. But right now, like, my other shelves are a little bit of a mess because I had to take a bunch of books off of my contemporary shelves for a video I'm filming later today. Yeah, it's all over. A mess, but I think I'll definitely do a bookshelf tour for you guys after I've like fully decided how I'm gonna organize all of these, because I think the last bookshelf tour I did was in 2019, I want to say, and I know a lot of you have been asking for an updated one, so I will definitely do that. But now that we've done most of the organizing, let's answer some more questions and then I will leave you. Someone asks, is YouTube your only income, or how do you afford all the books? So YouTube is not my only income. I do have a full-time job. I work 9 to 5 for a small publishing company in Canada. But yeah, I usually spend a lot of like the money I make from YouTube on books anyways. And a lot of the books I also get for free from publishers as like review copies or for like sponsored videos and that kind of thing. A lot of the books from HarperCollins I get for free from the Epic Reads team because they send those to me for my Epic Book Recs video series that I do with them. So if you haven't checked that out, go check it out in the description down below. It's a whole playlist of just recommendation videos that I've done on their channel. Someone asked, what are your other hobbies besides reading? So I do a lot of journaling, which I also share on my channel here. Aside from that, I honestly don't feel like I have hobbies. Sometimes I like to do some like digital drawings on my iPad, but other than that, I feel like most of my personality revolves around reading. I also just don't have like that much time, so like reading as a hobby just takes up so much time because it's also part of my work. Same with journaling, and I don't feel like watching TV is really a hobby, so yeah. Someone asked for what's a book that's been really hyped lately that you really want to read. I wouldn't really say this is hyped, but a lot of people have told me that this is really good, and that's Raybearer by Jordan E. Foucault. So many people have told me that this is amazing, and so I bought it, and I'm really hoping to pick it up very soon. Someone asked, have you read all of the books on your shelves? 100% no. I think I've read maybe like 60% of the books that are on my shelves. Maybe not even that much. I'm not really sure. I have a lot of books like on the bottom of my shelves that are from school, and I haven't like completely finished those, but yeah, I would say like I've read maybe a good like 50 to 60% of them, and then the rest I have not read, but I intend to one day. Someone asked, what made you join booktube, and is it difficult at first? I joined booktube because I had been watching booktube for years, like since high school, and I just really loved a space, and I've always loved reading, and I always wanted to kind of share my opinions about books and have more people to talk about books with. So that's sort of why I started my channel. I was also in a bit of a creative rut when I started my channel, so I used it as something to kind of break me out of that rut, which really worked for me. But I definitely think it was very difficult at the beginning, just getting used to talking to a camera and being comfortable, but also just like getting used to the time that it takes to start booktube and like, you know, film videos and edit them, and learning how to edit videos. Like that was also like a big learning curve, but I'm very glad that I decided to do it. Someone said, first, I love you. Thank you. I love you too. They said 2 new shows or movies you discovered during quarantine. So I think this came out during quarantine, but half of it, which came out last year on Netflix, I absolutely loved it. It is such a beautiful movie. It's like honestly one of my all-time favorite movies ever. And yeah, it's just such a good movie. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. I have like a permanent crush on Leah Lewis. Yeah, just look at her. She's just, I love her. And then recently I've gotten into Superstore on Netflix also. Don't think it was always on Netflix. I'm not really sure, but if you've ever worked in retail, it's really relatable, and I just love like the characters in the show. Someone asked, are you an easily organized person? How do you stay organized? I'm not really an easily organized person, but I do really like to be organized. So I'm constantly like organizing my room and organizing like my content and, you know, making sure I'm on top of the tasks that I need to do. So I do a lot of to-do lists. I have a bullet journal. I also use Notion, which I think is just incredible for staying organized, whether it's like tracking the videos that I'm going to film or like my budget or just like the things I need to do in a day. Like Notion has so many capabilities, so definitely go check it out if you need like a new thing to keep you organized. And to-do lists are also super huge for me. Someone asked, what book do you wish you could read for the first time again? And I would love to do this for so many books, but I definitely think Strange the Dreamer and Six of Crows are the two major ones that I would love to be able to read again for the first time, because reading them for the first time was such an experience for both of them, and like if I could get that back again, I would love it. But I also haven't reread both of those in a while, so I also don't know if I'll feel the same feelings that I did the first time when I reread them. But since it's been a while, I also feel like I will to a certain extent, because I've sort of forgotten most of the stuff that happens in both those books. So yeah, I'm excited to try rereading them one day because I love those books so much. Okay, you guys asked so many great questions and I cannot get through all of them. I've already been filming for like ages now, so I'm gonna stop the video here. Thank you so much for sending in your questions. I think I might do like a part 2 of this, of just like sitting down and answering your questions, because you guys had so many and I really want to get to more of them. A lot of you also had like very similar questions, so if I didn't put up like your specific question on the screen, I know you also probably asked it, and like there's just so many of you, so it's like hard to get them all on the screen. But yeah, thank you so much for sending in your questions. Thank you for coming along in the journey of trying to organize this bookshelf. I'm very excited about my new bookshelf and to just have more space for my books. And thank you so much to Luisa for sponsoring this video. Go check out the link in my description to get that 10% discount. Use that link because it has like the discount code attached. But if you want to use the code by itself, it's thisstory10. And I highly recommend going and checking them out. They are sustainable, they have fair prices, and they just have some really beautiful pieces that you are sure to love, or that someone you love will be sure to love. So yeah, thank you so much to Luisa for sponsoring this video, and thank you guys so much for watching this. Go check out my Instagram and Twitter and Goodreads in the description down below if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. So please remember that the story ain't over. Bye!